Hi, my name is Hannah Fraser. I'm a medical doctor and also an organic farmer here in Yorkshire. I'm convinced that there is a link between agriculture and human health, and it's this that sparked an idea for my Nuffield study, investigating how farming methods impact the nutritional quality of our food. A few years ago, I came across some researchers who suggested that the food we eat today isn't as nutritious as it was decades ago. Gram for gram, we aren't getting the same quantity of key nutrients like minerals, vitamins, and phytochemicals. But can farmers change that? Over my 2-year Nuffield study, I sought to find whether farming methods could be used to boost the nutrient density of food. I found that there are 4 key areas where that is the case. The first area is about improving soil health. A healthy soil is alive with a diversity of bacteria, fungi and other microbes, similar to a healthy human gut microbiome. Plants work in partnership with these microbes. They unlock minerals bound in soil structures and release them for the plants to take up. A few key researchers I met in America had linked greater soil health with greater nutrient density of food. The second area is about the genetic variety of the seeds we plant. Plant breeding has achieved great results over the last several decades, boosting yields and making plants more resilient. But breeders typically don't look at nutrient levels, and in fact, modern varieties, such as modern wheat, contains lower concentrations of key minerals like calcium and magnesium compared with heritage varieties. But some breeders, like the Project Harvest Plus, are actively selecting plants that naturally have a higher level of nutrients, such as wheat naturally rich in iron. The third area is agronomic biofortification, where a specific nutrient is added at the farm level. Finland have had great success asking their farmers to apply selenium fertilizer to their soils. They've boosted the selenium content of their food and dramatically improved the selenium levels of their population, which has a key role in immune function, thyroid health, and the prevention of certain cancers. And the fourth and final area is around livestock feed. Omega-3 and omega-6 are both beneficial polyunsaturated fats, but it is in fact the ratio of these two fats in our diet that seem to be important for health. And in fact, we eat far more omega-6 than we do omega-3 in our modern diets. Grasses and fresh greenery is rich in omega-3, so when livestock have access to this fresh forage, their meat and milk contains much higher levels of these beneficial omega-3s, as well as more phytochemicals, those beneficial plant chemicals like antioxidants that are stored in fresh plants. So there are 4 examples of how farming methods can improve the nutrient density of food. But how do we get foods like this to consumers? And how do we fairly reward farmers for practices that promote nutrient density? I saw some great examples of direct marketing along my travels, where a strong relationship between farmer and consumer allowed for the sharing of knowledge around how important farming methods were, not just from an environmental point of view, but also from a human health perspective. A company I met in France, who were trying to reach more consumers in supermarkets, have developed a certification and labelling system so that consumers can recognise products rich in omega-3s as a consequence of how the livestock have been farmed and fed. Ultimately, if we want to address our rising health issues, we must consider the role that farmers can play and think not just about what we eat, but about how our food is grown. If you're interested to learn more, please do seek out my Nuffield report, where I go into much greater detail about how farming links with nutrient density and health. I want to say a great thank you to the Nuffield Farming Scholarship Trust, who have supported me over the last 2 years, as well as my 2 sponsors, the Yorkshire Agricultural Society and the Worshipful Company of Fruiterers. Thank you.